What is up guys, this is Kai from KaiCreative and welcome to another filmmaking video coming to you from Stratford, the Olympic Park in the UK, East London. And today we're specifically talking about the Canon 70-200mm f-stop 2.8 image stabilized version 2 L lens. And today I'm counting down my top 5 reasons why this lens is an absolute necessity for all of you visual creatives. So the Canon 70-200mm f-stop 2.8 image stabilized L lens is a mouthful to pronounce and was announced back in January of 2010. This was to replace the earlier version of the lens which came out in 2001. So this lens has been out for a while now, but this in no way detracts from the usefulness, practicality and indispensable value that this particular lens can bring to your video projects and photography projects. So I use this lens in all of my videography projects, my corporate projects as well as my wedding videos. It has a space in my kit bag and I very rarely leave it at home. So today I'm counting down my top 5 reasons why you should consider purchasing a Canon 70-200mm version 2 L lens. So number 5 on our list has to be the build quality of the lens. Like all Canon L lenses, the 70-200 version 2 is definitely built to last. It is moisture and dust resistant, and I have to admit in the past I've used this lens a few times in wet, raining conditions. Now this isn't something that I'd necessarily recommend you do regularly or make a habit of, but when you need to film in wet conditions or it's raining outside, you're definitely not going to have any problems with this lens. As soon as you pick up the lens, you can feel the weight and the quality in your hands. This is definitely a piece of kit that Canon has made to last for years and feels extremely robust. The 4th point on our list has to do with filming in poorly lit conditions. The Canon 70-200mm version 2 lens has a fast aperture of 2.8. This makes it ideal for filming in dark places like in hotels, in lobbies, for wedding receptions or for meetings without the need of using additional lighting equipment. Another great feature of this lens is that fast aperture stays constant across the zoom range, making it easier for you to film more of those finer details in poorly lit conditions. Point number 3 on our list is still related to the aperture, and that is that this lens is ideal for taking portrait photos as well as videos. Having that 2.8 aperture open really wide can allow you to blur out your background, allowing the background to melt together while you have a nice sharp focus on your subject of interest. In the past, I've been called upon to take photos or portrait photos of a whole team of people, and this was the lens that I decided to use. As a videographer, I've used this lens to death for interview filming. This lens really does create professional looking portrait shots for your photos and your videos. The 2nd point on our list is the focal length. 70-200mm is an extremely useful focal length to have, especially when you're filming B-roll of people. So if you've been hired to film a wedding, a reception, assembly, an event, what your client would generally want is close-up shots of people having a good time, laughing, talking, generally acting natural on the camera. And one thing that makes people not act natural on camera is having a camera right up in their face. But with the 70-200mm lens, that isn't a problem because you can stand at a distance, film people, get all of those natural, happy, laughing, talking shots and not be noticed. That's what makes this lens magic for filming events, weddings and receptions. And the first reason on our list for why you should get a 70-200mm f-stop 2.8 IS version 2 L lens is the IS, or image stabilization. Image stabilization will definitely make a massive difference to your photos or videos, especially if you have to shoot handheld, especially with the weight of this lens. Now there are non-IS versions of this lens and this is reflected in the price. If you've got the cash, I would definitely recommend going for the IS version. If you haven't, go for the non-IS version, but make sure you use a tripod or some sort of stabilization kit. Even though this is an awesome lens, there are some drawbacks. One of them that we've already touched on is the price. Even though this lens came out in 2010, it's still extremely difficult to find one, even second hand, for less than £1,000 or $1,300. I guess that the bonus side of this shows that the lens retains its value, in contrast to camera bodies which seem to crash in price when a new version is released. Another drawback to this lens is its weight. It is almost 1.5 kilograms. If you add in a 5D Mark III or a 5D Mark IV, that's almost 2.5 kilograms in your hand all day or around your neck. That can start to take its toll. But on the plus side, you could view it as a mini workout. Bulk up those biceps. I wasn't sure about making this purchase for the longest time. I ummed and ahed about it for ages. But then I finally decided to bite the bullet, part with the cash and make the purchase, and I haven't looked back since. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. If you found this content useful, then please do share it and leave us a little like down below. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our channel, KaiCreative, and check out the other awesome content that we have on there. If there's any other content that you want to see around filmmaking in the future, then do let me know in the comment section down below and we'll see what we can do. So that's it for today. Remember to stay creative, imagine, implement and inspire, and I'll see you guys next time on KaiCreative.